They were the ones that set up the baseball teams, the softball leagues citywide. They were the ones that went to, I know that we went to several retreats in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin for the church. That they had plays of the, of the crucifixion of Jesus. I mean, there were a lot of activity going on with our parents. So our organizing skills came from that, from the Knights of St. John, and that they took the lighter approach. They just didn't want to create any waves, and when we became young lords, we were a little more radical. And in that sense, when we became young lords, we were also not being. Our parents didn't want anything to do with us. I mean, they were afraid of us. And of course, they were with us, but they were afraid of us, and they definitely told us that we were wrong on what we were doing. We thought we were doing it for them.
And what was it that you were fighting for specifically, seeking to have changed?
What we wanted, the primary concern was the fact that we wanted to keep our community where it was, to stabilize our neighborhood. At that point, the city wanted to kick out the low-income people from the lakefront and the downtown area of the city, the whole land grab that they wanted to do.
We're talking here on 848 on Chicago Public Radio with Jose Cha-Cha Jimenez. He is one of the founders of Young Lords as the organization became politicized during the late 1960s, an organization built principally on the strength of the Puerto Rican community, but expanded far beyond that to include a coalition of others from a variety of ethnic and racial groups in Chicago. Today he maintains his political activism and also works as a youth outreach worker. And let me come back to the sort of multicultural aspect of Young Lords, because if we go back to the late 1960s, you are existing at a time when there is a lot of social change driven by a lot of different forces and factions. So what was your relationship with other groups, whether it would be the Black Panther Party or SDS or Rising Up Angry, those kinds of organizations?
Well, with the Black Panther Party, we were working with Fred Hampton at the time. I had gone to Oakland because I had gone to a conference in Denver, Colorado, where there were a lot of brown berets, and so we made contact with people in Oakland and that. And so when we went to Oakland, we met with the Black Panther Party there. I remember staying about a month with Bobby Seale there, and just learning how the operation, how that worked. Then we came back to Chicago. We had learned from Brown Berets, the Black Panthers, the Black Berets, and I saw a need again to develop the same system, the same type of organization for the Puerto Rican community. And so we basically organized in that fashion. We set up programs. That was another thing that we set up. So we had a Breakfast for Children program, a free health clinic, a cultural center, Puerto Rican Cultural Center at that time in the church. And we tried to work with the local community businesses. We got them involved, and we would, one week somebody would give a dozen eggs, another week somebody would give some orange juice. So we were not funded by the city or by the government. We were funded by ourselves. So from the beginning, we saw a rainbow philosophy from the very beginning. We've always seen it that way, but we saw a need to use nationalism as a first stage.
When you mention nationalism, of course, and we talk about Puerto Rico, we can't do so without talking about the ongoing debate over Puerto Rican independence or statehood or its continued Commonwealth status. How big of an issue was that for the Young Lords in those early days?
Well, keep in mind that when we're seeing urban renewal right in front of us, we're seeing our community being taken away from us, being robbed from us. And so we're looking at that, and then we're looking at the fact that we're Puerto Ricans and we're a direct colony of the United States. And so we kind of compared the same issue. It was the same issue. This is a clear example of what's going to take place in Puerto Rico if we don't get on the ball.
So you drew those parallels directly.
So we drew them directly, yes. And so it was natural for us to learn as much as we could about Puerto Rico, although I don't know that much. Some people take many books to learn about why we need self-determination. It just took us a few things. We knew we could see it because we saw it in Lincoln Park.
Here we now sit more than 30 years later, and we look at the city's geographic landscape, and we look specifically at Lincoln Park, and it's very difficult to find any sustainable vestige of the Puerto Rican community there today, and certainly in the way that it was in your time. So what happened to the Young?
Llevan su nombre a la historia, los boricuas en Chicago, sin estar organizados, demandan justicia y gloria, despertando sus memorias, aquellos pasados días, que el boricua no sabía, y sus derechos eran negados, por eso se rebelaron contra de la policía. Todo parecía en silencio, aquel domingo callado, cuando un error policíaco a todo esto dio comienzo, y sin pérdida de tiempo la colonia comprendía que allí justicia no había y que fueron maltratados, y por eso se rebelaron contra de la policía allá en la calle División, contra de la policía. Explicación no ha tenido la policía del distrito cuando aquel pobre niñito por el perro fue mordido, y el público enfurecido se colmó de rebeldía. La justicia no debía tan brutal haber actuado, y por eso se rebelaron contra de la policía allá en el Humboldt Park, contra de la policía.